Amari Cooper says the Dallas Cowboys will have 3 1,000-yard wide receivers in 2020. Is Amari Cooper right, or is the brother smoking dope?
Smoking dope.
I want to start off with the Dallas Cowboy fan himself, Dino from Dallas. Dino, talk to me.
Well.
You gotta make sure he breathe. You gotta make sure he moves side.
It all falls back to the guy who's throwing them the passes. It all falls back to Dak Prescott. They could be as talented as they want. Cooper, Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb. They are a very talented bunch. I'm excited to have them as the receivers. But at the end of the day, it all goes back to Dak. And him being inaccurate and not being able to throw the ball deep accurately, it's going to hurt us in the long run. And personally, I believe that's going to hinder 3 1,000-yard receivers. If anything, I think one of them gets 1,000 yards. And it will most likely be Cooper, if you ask me. But I'm just not confident in Dak. I'm really not. And I haven't seen it. Like, over the past few seasons, his record against winning teams. And in this season, we have one of the toughest schedules in the NFC. We play our AFC opponents are tough too. We got to go against Baltimore, Pittsburgh. Like, those aren't easy games. So Dak is really going to get tested in those games. And I don't see it happening. I really don't. I think we're going to go 8-8 or 9-7. I really do.
And I'll be honest with you, I agree with you 110%. From the time Dak got to the league, I was like, who is this guy? A quarterback out of State. And for Cooper to say 3 1,000-yard receiving, that's impossible. Impossible. I'm not saying that's not like it's going to be impossible. For one, CeeDee Lamb is a rookie. Who knows how productive he's going to be for the Cowboys offense. Number 2, Gallup, he's on and off. You get what I mean? Like, 1 minute he has one good game, next minute you don't hear from him at all. And pretty much the only consistent receiver that they have is Cooper. And Cooper was every time like why he's one of the best receivers in the league right now. But other than that, for you to say 8-8, that is being nice. I see 7-9.
Wow. You know what? I agree with you. I could see 7-9 as well. I really do. And this is another one of Dak's prove it years. Yes. But to me, like, I've seen enough. If the Cowboys don't get to at least the NFC Championship, he's got to go. He's got to go.
I would say this: if Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup each have 1,000 yards, the Cowboys are going 8-8 and 7-9, because there's no way that's going to translate to wins. Simply because the Cowboys' offense is extremely more effective when you have Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield running the football first and being the main option. So, yeah, you can say, we all going to have 3 1,000 yards wide receivers. It's not going to translate to wins. I don't think it's an impossible feat, because let's think about it. Dak Prescott did stat pad his stats a lot last year. There were times where they were blown out, and Dak Prescott was throwing a whole lot of, yards because of garbage time, right? Think about the Green Bay Packers game. That game in particular stands out, but they was getting smoked like barbecue chicken on the grill in a hot summertime in the first quarter, and then Dak Prescott was able to throw for 400 yards in that game in a loss. So I can see, I don't think it's impossible, but that's just not going to translate to wins. The Cowboys are more effective when they go and rush the football and then let Dak do what Dak does, throwing short passes. They tried to get away from that last year, and that was their problem. They wanted to play pretty ball, and that's not how they're supposed to do it. So I don't see how this happened when you have Ezekiel Elliott, a guy that's always like, feed me. He wants the ball. Give him the ball. Let him be the focal point of your offense, and then you could possibly make the playoffs. I think this division is winnable when you do it that way. But if you're talking about, all these stats and stuff like that, it's not going to translate to wins. But it can happen simply because you think about Mike McCarthy's offense as well. It's high tempo offense that's very quarterback and wide receiver friendly. So maybe that may help Dak Prescott get, stats on his resume, but it's not going to translate to wins. They need to run the football.
And I'm going to be honest with you, too. Andy Dalton's going to give him a run for his money. Mark my words. If Prescott does not start winning or, put the Cowboys in good situation, don't be surprised if you see Andy Dalton be the starting quarterback mid-season.
I agree 110% on that, because there's a reason why Jerry brought in Andy Dalton. First, it was for leverage with the contract, but now that Dak's on the tag, like, look, they're both on 1-year deals now, technically. So if Dak rather, if he's struggling, like, Andy's a proven quarterback. Like, he's not amazing, but he's not bad.
And Kellen
here's
Moore
the thing with
lost
that.
some steam too. Oh, now I was saying Kellen Moore, in the beginning of the year, he was like, "Oh, this is the next great offensive coordinator." He lost some steam towards the end of that year, and I didn't think he made great calls towards the end of that game. You think particular of that Patriot game when it was raining, and you have Dak Prescott throwing the ball down the field in the rain when they could have ran the ball.
You got common sense. Football is chess, not checkers. You get what I mean? If it's a rainy game like this, run the ball. You get what I mean? Because, you already know the ball is slippery as it is. And, when you run the ball, you manage the clock well. And, you kill as much clock as possible.
And Stephon Gilmore had this dude, Amari Cooper, in check like Nike. Literally put him in check like Nike that whole game. So if your best wide receiver is not available, the weather is terrible, it's in Foxborough, won the daggone football. And that's my problem with the Cowboys.